What if I told you there was one secret feeling, a sensation so fundamental that it would transform the way you hit every iron shot ever again? So it's not about complex mechanics or endless drills, it's about tapping into a singular understanding that pro golfers know but never talk about. And that last shot was a great example. Struck well, accurate, long. Now, the problem is most golfers can maybe get the tee shots away, but when the golf ball's on the ground and they've got an iron shot, they really struggle with that consistency of contact. And I've got a little bit of personal investment in this as well, not just because you guys watching, but Charlie, my youngest son, has really got the golf ball, obsessed with it at the moment. And he's been on a couple of videos, but still probably just finding that quality of strike with the iron isn't quite there. So what is this one feeling, this one sensation that the best players create? Well, they get set up to the golf ball, they make that golf swing, and they get that ball and then ground contact. And we can see on TrackMan there, club head speed was 88 mile an hour, but the low point was 3.3 inches ahead. Attack angle -4 degrees, which shows the club's moving down at impact. And that's the key, isn't it? We need to get that golf club traveling so that it collects the golf ball and then collects the ground. And it doesn't necessarily matter exactly how far ahead we are at the moment or how much in the ground we are, but we need to find a way to create that ball and then ground contact. So let's talk about what I see with most club golfers is even from a good setup, when they make their golf swing, they really struggle with contact. And we can see their low point behind, and even though it's accurate, it's gone nowhere. But you'll have noticed there with that swing, how I finish my swing, and please comment below and let me know if this is you. By the time they've hit the golf ball, the back on that back foot, the lead heel's off the ground, and all the body's back behind where the ball would have been. Whereas all the best players in the world finish fully into that left side. So it's about really how we start the downswing. So I think because most golfers are just obsessed with trying to hit the ball or get the ball in the air, once they get here, they're really kind of throwing the arms and the club down. Problem is I'm trapped on this foot. My low point's going to be back behind the ball, and I either fat it or I miss the ball and thin it or top it. So the first thing we need to get the feel is as we're getting towards the top of our backswing, we need to feel that the weight's already moving towards the target. And I'm letting my chest and my hips go here. I'm not trying to feel that one stays back. I want everything moving towards the target. And then when I swing down, you can see straight away, I'm going to touch the ground much further ahead of the golf ball. Now, very often golfers will say to me, but I need to look at the ball, don't I? Because I need to hit it. I'll talk with a lot of golfers face to face about, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for you to actually have your eyes focused a little ahead of the ball, because remember, the ball's not the bottom of your golf swing. The lowest point needs to be after the ball so we collect ball and then turf. So I always like golfers to make a lot of practice swings, really feel like you're moving towards the target. And it's great. And even if I put some videos of the best players in the world up here, you can see that from address, as they come into impact, how much they've moved their body towards the target in the downswing. So the best players in the world, address compared to impact, the body's probably 4, 5, 6 inches nearer the target. And yet most club golfers are actually further away from the target. So we've done a few practice swings and we've got that going. Now all we want to do is take a little bit of speed out to begin with, but really focus on moving towards that target, almost as much as you can to begin with. And we can see there straight away, not as fast, which was fine, but low point 4.5 inches ahead, clubs travelled down 5.8 degrees, and we'll take that as a shot. And a lot of time golfers will talk to me about, do I need to hit down more, do I need to hit up more with various clubs? Look, the further ahead your low point, the more the club's travelling down by the time it hits the ball. If you're somebody who's back behind the golf ball, the club's only ever moving up. If you're going to hit down, you're just going to bury the club in the ground. Now, on a mat, you can definitely see where you're making contact with the ground. If you're out on turf, that's where the middle of the divot will be, the low point. Not where you touch the ground. So if the divot's long, the middle of the divot is your low point. So you do a couple more of those slower ones and really feel like you're moving that body excessively towards the target. And it's such a different feel. Once you start doing that, you'll be hitting the ball straighter, you'll be hitting it further. But when people talk about compressing the irons, this is what they're talking about as they move their body towards the target, we create shaft lean, we deal off the golf club. That's what all the best players in the world do. And if you're watching this video, it's not what you've been doing up until right now. So then you can start building a little bit more speed back in. Again, even for me there, felt I moved quite a lot towards the target. See low point well ahead, club traveling down. Now, I'm doing this with 7-iron. Now, I have said this is about irons, but this works with every shot on the ground. So even hybrids and fairway woods. The only thing you would do with them is you would have the ball slightly further forward, still move like this, but as the ball's further forward, it just means the low point won't be as far ahead, so you'll hit down less. But if you can stand up there, get that feel that before you get to the top of your backswing, if you start then it's too late. You want to feel as the hands are kind of getting opposite your chest in the backswing, you're already moving the body towards the target. You can see none of this is unwinding yet. Then I can swing down. Again, you can set up. That one's a little bit offline, but strike again, great. 4.6 inches ahead, club down 5.4 degrees. And in my experience, most golfers that struggle with their irons don't tell me that they flush it strike-wise, but they don't know where it's going. It's down to that poor contact. But you cannot have your body back behind the golf ball and be hitting good shots. So we're going to feel like we move nice and early towards the target and aggressively towards the target. And then even if it's not out the middle of the golf club, low points ahead, accuracy is good, and it still goes further than that horrible fat, thin or topped one. Now, the more comfortable you get with it, you might not have to think about it as much. But I always say to golfers, if you do that for a period of time really, really well, and then you become complacent and you stop doing it, chances are you'll revert back to what you've always done. So can you get up, move towards the target nice and early, and really start hitting some of the best iron shots you've ever hit, and just unlocking that secret that all the pros know that you didn't know until today.